Okay, so we just got like just got into chapter 2, act 2. We just got our fancy dress. Let's go see what this party's all about, shall we?
This affair is by invitation only, Fräulein. Your papers, please. I am sorry, but I have no time to talk, Fräulein. I am the chief of security, you
This is
understand.
probably also the same
I
guy.
have much responsibility. Danke, Fräulein. I'll return this pass when you are leaving. Enjoy yourself this evening.
Wait, you took my press pass? Now there's time. Oh no. Oh no, I can't handle it. Nice, Dad. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. I'm motivating yourself to the You've motivated yourself to the Good. I'm glad. GG's. I hope it went well.
Heard any good rumors lately?
Maybe, or maybe not. What's it worth to you?
Well, I don't have any money right now.
Then I ain't got no rumors for you, Toots.
What if I ask you specifically about people?
What makes you think I knows anything about a dame like her? She won't even have anything to do with me. I don't know anything about her. Why ask me?
That's odd. She seems to know you.
Does she?
She did. What did she say? It ain't true. Listen, that old cow couldn't keep a secret if her life depended on it. I ain't taking the rap for her anyways. Now leave me alone before I calls the cops. Or somebody.
Bonjour, Miss Bow. Dr. Carrington told me you were covering this party for the newspaper. I'm Yvette Delacroix.
Yvette.
That's right, Miss Delacroix. I'm writing the social news column.
Ah, the social news. I was thinking you were here about the burglary.
The burglary?
Why did our
Oh,
voice
of
quality
course
get
not.
garbaged?
The newspaper would never assign a female cub reporter like myself to such an important story.
Ah, you are probably being correct, Miss Bow.
Probably being correct. May I ask you questions?
Dr. Carrington is my superior, so I'd rather not be saying the bad things about him.
What bad thing?
He is very strange, even for a man. Ah, but you are trying to trick me, no? It's best that I am not talking about him. Dr. Miklos and I, we have much of the fun together. She is very friendly. Many times we have run through the museum chasing the daisy, no?
Chasing the daisy?
Yes, I am Yvette Delacroix, but I am not one to be talking about myself too much, no? I am not like the great Dr. Carter, who has so many of the great stories to tell.
Wolf. See. Wolf. Wait. Countess.
Ah, the Countess. She is not what she seems, no?
What do you mean?
Her last husband, he was afraid of her. He told me. Then as I learned more, I was becoming afraid of her too.
Why? She seems like a nice old lady.
I haven't even met her yet.
It is all the act, no? She is a dangerous one. Now I think she is after Dr. Carrington's money, since I am seeing them together so often lately.
Money.
I don't understand. Why is she so dangerous?
Just be trusting me, Miss Bow. Stay away from the Countess. People die when she's around.
Oh,
Monsieur Heimlich. He's the intense fellow, no? Very military, very stiff and straight. I feel very safe around him, but I also feel uncomfortable. He patrols the museum so much. It is strange the dagger was stolen from under his nose, no?
Do you suspect him of stealing the dagger?
Who knows? I am not the policeman. But he seemed very upset about the burglary. Maybe too upset, no?
This is quite a party. Does the museum always have a big fundraiser when they open a new exhibit, Dr. Carter?
No, but they've never had such an important exhibit opening here before. And I'm an important curator with an important salary, so the museum wouldn't have been able to keep me employed here without financial assistance.
You must be very important for the museum to go to so much trouble.
Naturally. The museum is lucky that I accepted this position as the head of their new Egyptian antiquities department. Why, my name alone will attract more visitors and more money to the museum.
Any chance that the Tutankhamun exhibit will make a stop here on its American tour?
No. I'd hate to embarrass my relative by putting his Tutankhamun artifacts on display here. They pale by comparison to my own great discoveries, such as the Dagger of Amon Ra.
Well,
Of course.
it's
How
stolen,
silly
so
of me to think otherwise.
very humble.
Yes, that was rather silly of you.
I'm such a silly girl. I'm just it's my period. It's 'cause I'm a girl. Sorry.
Good evening,
Can't
sir.
handle this game today.
My name is Laura Bow.
Ugh.
My name is Najia, Miss Bow. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh no, not a making fun of a lisp stereotype. Alright. What next? What can I ask? You're right, you're right. Whew, I'm so silly. Pretty out of line.
I believe he was the Emperor of Rome just after Justinian.
Yep.
A crodfoller is some sort of miniature vegetable, isn't it? A potato, perhaps.
Rhubarb is also. Is this guy just a plant? Does the T stand for turnip? Ooh, got him.
That's me, you silly girl. If you want to arrange
Oh,
an
this is
in-depth
Pippin.
interview,
I was
we'll have
imagining a
to
younger
schedule it
person.
later in the week. Dr. Carrington is a fine chap. Used to be in charge of the British Museum, you know. I ran into him several years ago when I visited the British Museum to consult with Dr. Butch. Seems odd that Dr. Carrington doesn't remember me, but I almost didn't recognize him either. He's getting old after all. Looks different. Memory's probably shot as well.
Sure.
Dr. Miklos is rather eccentric, but she is well educated. Received her training at one of the better universities in Athens, Greece. She's considered quite knowledgeable in the area of hieroglyphics, but her speciality is paleontology. She's fond of old bones.
Old bones. Okay. Mikolos is good at hieroglyphics. Probably need to ask her something eventually.
That trollop sleeps with everything that moves.
Yikes.
And some things that don't. It's only by sheer strength of will that I've resisted her advances so far.
Surely.
Ah, yes. Heimlich's the security chief here. Not a particularly good one, obviously, since the dagger was stolen right from under his nose. And he's rather too intense for my tastes.
What about Countess?
The Countess was married to the former president of the Dagger Museum, Sterling Waldorf Carlton. A good chap, but uninspired. Now she has her sights set on Dr. Carrington.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna ask you about the burglary. And Egyptology. And the museum.
You must be very upset about the burglary.
Quite so. If I ever find out who stole my dagger of Amon Ra, they won't live to regret it, I can assure you.
Oh my. Do you have any idea who would do such a thing?
I have my suspicions, but I need more proof before I subject him to the full force of my wrath.
Have the police learned anything?
Those incompetents? Hardly. They couldn't even find any clues around the dagger display.
Sounds like the burglar might have been a professional.
Perhaps. It's more likely the local constable couldn't find a clue if it jumped up and bit him on the bum.
Since you're an expert on the subject, what can you tell me about Egyptology?
I don't have time to explain the intricacies of my profession to a neophyte. If you're truly interested, I'd suggest several years of difficult study on the subject at one of your better universities. Once you've finished that, you can talk to me again.
It sounds meaner than it is. Neophyte is a person who is new to a subject, skill, or belief. You're a neophyte. I'll neophyte your face. Hi, Sandwich. He's being a snob, but he's not wrong. Museum.
With a little work, I can turn the Dagger into a world-class museum. But that can wait a few months until they decide to make me the president. Dr. Carrington will have to find other employment, of course, but I'm sure some lesser museum would be happy to have him on their staff.
Alright, I'm done talking to you. But I want to ask you about Egyptology.
You should ask Dr. Miklos or Dr. Smith about that.
Oh. Good talk.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Oh, we already talked to him.
Good evening, Dr. Carrington.
Good evening, Miss Bow. Good evening.
Dr. Carey. Wait, was Dr. Wait. No.
I'm afraid I don't know the gentleman.
He looks like one of the guys from the first game.
The fellow has quite an overinflated ego. He's got a legitimate reason for it, I suppose. Well, that's me, young lady. Dr. Archibald Carrington III, at your service.
Cool. I just wanted to know more about you.
Oh, he's a good enough chap for a law enforcement peon. I'm not a... Dr. Miklos is one of the museum's most respected curators. I really haven't had much interaction with Miss Delacroix. Well, of course, she is my assistant. So I guess I should correct myself and say that I do have interaction with her. But I don't know her very well, really.
This is the most scandalous group of historical nerds. Right? Yeah, maybe it was Freudian. Maybe he just wants to.
Now there's a lady who truly supports the arts. A real patron, that old girl.
What do you make of the theft of the dagger, Dr. Carrington?
It's simply beastly. What is the world coming to when crepuscular ruffians can invade a museum like Visigoths?
Do you have any idea who could have done such a thing?
Not at all. But if I did, I'd be tempted to teach the brute a lesson.
Yes.
Egyptology is all quite the fashion now, Miss Bow. But it's been a serious science for many years. I can recommend a number of fine books if you're interested.
I'm gonna ask you about the museum. And then we didn't actually talk to the other guy, Smith, I think.
The Lion Decker is simply fantastic, Miss Bow. This is the opportunity of a lifetime.
A thousand curses on that man. He defiled the tombs of my sacred ancestors for his own personal glory. He doesn't care a fig for what's right and what's wrong. His own evil deeds will catch up with him, though. Just wait and see.
Okay.
I have heard a great deal about Mr. Carrington, but I do not know him very well. We have only spoken once or twice, but he seems like a cultured, charming fellow. Dr. Miklos is a brilliant individual, but he is certainly a little strange. Ah well, we all have our foibles, don't we, Miss Bow?
How about Yvette?
Miss Yvette is a charming young lady, and so friendly. She seems genuinely interested in Egyptology. We had a long discussion about tombs one time.
Cool. Cool.
I find Mr. Heimlich to be most
Intimidating. Seems to be the general consensus.
The Countess is quite a colorful lady. She seems to enjoy life to the fullest, does she not? Just between you and me, she scares me a little.
Why is that, Mr. Najia?
Well, she's just too enthusiastic for me, I suppose.
Too enthusiastic.
Are you an Egyptologist, Mr. Najia?
No, not professionally. I have always been interested in the history of my country and made a point of studying it. I am particularly interested in ancient Egyptian religions.
Oh, that was grody. Alright, what, two more things? Ask him about the burglary and the museum.
Mr. Najia, would you have any idea who might have stolen the dagger of Amon Ra?
No, but whoever did should be boiled alive. He should be fed to hungry crocodiles. His guts should be strung from the pyramids. He should... Oh, excuse me. I get a little passionate on the subject.
Quite all right, Mr. Najia. I understand.
Yep. They're going for everybody.
The Lion Dagger is a beautiful museum, Miss Bo, but I do not approve of the spoiling of my ancestors' tombs, much less the wanton display of their bodies and their personal effects.
It was a bit. He got a little heated on that one. What about these other people? Oops.
It's a colossal bust of the pharaoh Ramses II, discovered at the Ramesseum, his mortuary temple on the Nile's west bank opposite present-day Luxor. The complete Ramses statue stood nearly 60 feet tall and weighed more than 1,000 tons. Presumably Ramses was not this large in life, although many people have stated that Ramses had a big head.
Huh. Hi, Gordon. The audio noise, the voices, yeah, I feel like it's a little crackly in particular here for some reason.
Hi, I'm Laura Bow.
Being snobbish high society types, these partygoers just ignore you entirely.
Hi.
The semi-happy partygoers just ignore you entirely, considering themselves high above your social standing. Since you're not a recognized member of the in crowd, you might as well be a ghost as far as they're concerned.
The new museum press? Stodgy old guy, but a fine chap. Yeah, that's it, a fine chap. Good man. How many times you
Oh, whoops, sorry. Wait, I thought I just asked you about Carter.
can't help you?
Oh.
I'll tell ya, most of the cops around these towns stink. But O'Reilly's different. He's okay. He really knows how to treat a mouthpiece, you know? I made some good jack working for him. No, he ain't in my privileged circle of friends and acquaintances.
Okay. That's how you talk at the end of the day. Hi, Luke. Hello.
That lady.
Na 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 na. I don't know what he said. I wasn't paying attention, but it's probably fine.
I don't think I've heard.
What do you know about the burglary?
I know the dagger was heisted. I might even know who done it. But I ain't talking.
Why not?
If you know, why won't you go to the police?
All I got is a suspicion. I got nothing hard. Besides, what have the cops done for me lately?
This is in the interest
Thanks for the
of
good vibes, Ark.
justice. Who are you trying to protect?
I'm trying to protect me. Now flip.
But I gotta ask you more questions. Like about the museum?
I know everything's not what it looks to be, but then what is? Same with all these mocky-mocks. Look, appearances can be deceiving. Me, do I look like the brother of a famous Broadway producer? No, but I am.
Alright, Ziggy.
You ask yourself if you can handle the task set.
You seen it? I saw you in there before. It is what it is. Hey, I'm a philosopher.
Happy Tuesday.
Have you had any contact with the police?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I'm sort of a freelance detective. I find things out that the police can't, then I pass along the information. For a price.
Sounds like a most valuable service.
Oh yeah, they couldn't do their jobs right without me. Nice guys, them cops. Kiss me flush. Salts of the earth.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
What did I pick up? I was just trying to get some snacks. Oh.
A crystal water receptacle.
Oh. I'll just shove all the hors d'oeuvres in my purse because I have no money, I have no food, I have no clothes.
The buffet tables are heaped with food, champagne, and water.
Yep.
The food and champagne look good, but you're trying to stay on a diet, so you make the wise decision to leave them alone. The food... Don't be greedy. You don't need another water glass.
Okay.
You'd like to reach out and touch the silence alone.
Alright. I don't think we've accomplished anything here, but we did a lot of things.
Looking at a small portion of the big head really doesn't do justice to the immense size of the statue, but you can see that the bust was sculpted with extreme care, almost as if the sculptor's life depended on it, which it did. That's not the tablecloth is dusted with breadcrumbs and stained with grease, champagne, grape juice, and water.
Ooh. Can I examine you?
You see a bald, greasy, unpleasant little man with overlarge pores and a sour expression.
Are we making a burn book or something? Damn. You're so mean.
I am hoping you like what you are seeing, Miss Bo.
Oh.
That's more than a...
Please do not scrutinize me.
Stop that, you...
You silly female.
That would...
Oh, it's only rude if I do it to the strangers. I don't like this guy.
He runs one of the local Chinese laundries. Pretends to be Chinese so he can get more business, but he has a terrible accent.
Wait, so he's not actually Chinese? Oh, all of the accents are terrible. Oh, game. Ah.
If you're referring to the local drinking establishments, they are quite illegal, and I don't condone their existence.
I guess.
I do drink on occasion, but only when the finest wines are available.
Okay.
It's one of those local scandal periodicals. The term yellow journalism comes to mind when I think of it, which means it's not much of a newspaper at all, really. It's more like printed chewing gum for the uneducated masses.
Wow.
Now, wait a minute. The Tribune is a fine newspaper of the highest quality. I know because I happen to work there.
You've just proven my point.
Oh.
Well, I never.
What an asshole.
Maybe that's your problem.
I don't have to stand here and take this abuse.
You're right, you don't. You could just go away and make us both happy.
Rude. So rude. You love her accent.
I enjoy the Tribune very much, Miss Bo. I read the financial page every morning of my life. The police are useless. It is not the police who will uncover the thief of the dagger. It will be his own evil deeds turned back on him like an angry cobra.
Huh.
The police station is the last refuge for the incompetents in this city. However, if you're looking for a constable,
Oh, he's just mean to everyone about everything all the time.
people tell me Low Fats is a good place to have laundry done, but he always puts too much starch in my shirts.
I think you do that yourself.
I wouldn't know, Miss Bow. I personally do not use that laundry, Miss Bow. I go to an Egyptian laundry on 44th Street.
Do you like the city of New York, Mr. Najee?
Well, it is a very lucrative place for an accountant to set up shop, but the city itself is rather large and frightening.
New York, it is a rough place for the newcomer, no? So many people in the one place, it reminds me of Paris, but it is where all the money is, no? The Americans, they have so much more money than the French.
How about the speakeasy?
This speakeasy, it used to be the good place of the business for me, no? Then I got this job, so I don't have to do that anymore.
But who is the
What
countess?
kind of work did you do at the speakeasy?
I was the hostess there for a while.
With your appearance, you must have gotten a lot of tips.
I suppose you could be calling it that. I got the very big tips.
Alright, Yep, that's Yvette. I didn't learn anything. Uh-oh. Wait, my press pass? Mr. Wolf?
A busy
Doesn't look very busy, but I'd probably die if I went out there. Yeah.
A parked car. A parked...
Okay, I guess we go back inside. Can I go back here? Oh, the background people changed. That's cool. I feel like the more people there are on screen, the longer it takes to switch between actions. Yeah, we— oh! Oh. It seemed kind of like a small party.
Hi, I'm Laura Bow, and I'm covering the...
Good evening, Miss Bow. I'm the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton. Please be sure to spell my name right in your story.
A 4090 for this game, yeah. Ugh. The struggling. All the people.
Ah, truly a man of great ambition and integrity,
I'm assuming this is, The scary one. Wait, is she the Countess? If she is the Countess... Okay.
Dr. Carrington, what about him? I know very little about the man.
Now that's odd. I could have sworn Mr. Dorian said that you met Dr. Carrington in a taxi when he arrived on the Andrea Doria.
Yes, or whatever I did. I mean, yes, I did meet him that night. Our families are, old allies from the time of the War with Roses. I felt obliged to meet him upon his arrival. Noblesse oblige, you understand.
Uh-huh. I think she got a little salty at us. I haven't asked anybody about Steve here. Which I guess I could.
Well, to tell you the truth, dear girl, I find him to be a crude, uncultured ruffian.
The detective? Everyone else seemed to have a lot of nice things to say about him.
Oh, I do enjoy a bit of crodfollow with my tea.
Go to bed. That sounds nice.
I'm sure I've never met him.
How about...
My, she is unusual, isn't she, dear girl? I can't stand that horrid ferret of hers. I'm sure it hates me.
The War of Roses was over 500 years ago. I don't know the War of Roses.
I am not interested in discussing that little trollop.
Man, y'all gotta stop throwing words around like trollop.
You ask yourself.
So mean. And silly.
Oh, Mr. Heimlich is simply dreadful. I think his tiny taste of authority has gone to his little head, don't you, Miss Bow?
You ask.
Let's play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's 100% historically accurate.
I'm afraid I haven't read your newspaper, dear girl. I try to avoid the news. I find it distressing. We live in such terrible times.
The 20s have been pretty rough.
I think the Lion Dagger is simply divine, don't you? Miss Bow, you must be sure to avoid such dens of iniquity. They can
I'm
only
supposed
ruin a
to...
young lady's
Oh, I'm supposed to tell you that there's somebody in the lounge waiting for you, though. Or vice versa, maybe.
Do you know much about Egyptology, Countess?
Only a little, dear girl. I find it quite diverting.
What do you make of the theft of the Dagger of Amon Ra, Countess?
Oh, it's horrid. Simply horrid. What sort of creature would make off with a priceless work of art, I wonder?
Do you have any ideas about who it might have been?
Oh, my, no! I try not to associate with dreadful people, dear girl.
Oh my, of course not. Tell me about the year.
Countess, has 1926 been a good year for you?
Oh, no, dear girl. It's been absolutely horrid. My darling husband Sterling died this year, you know. I don't know what I'll do without him.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that, Countess.
Well, aren't you the sweet little thing? Thank you, my dear.
Did he get choked? Is that how he died? 'Cause... Do you need some water?
Well, I've seen many glasses tonight, dear girl. It is a party, you know.
Oh, do I need to magnify?
The bottom of the glass reads, manufactured by Lion Decker Glassworks, Coarsegold, California.
Coarse gold. Isn't that Sierra? There's a gift shop, eh?
It's an alcove occupied by a giant urn. The giant urn is occupied by the cremated remains of Ignaz Leyendecker, who financed the construction of the museum. The urn is engraved.
Gift shop open? Oh dear. Okay.
These appear to be copies of ancient Egyptian artifacts. These are replicas of early 12th century Celtic insect trapping pottery. These vessels appear to be replicas of 7th century Welsh condiment pots made for export to Ireland. These appear. It's a painting of the pharaoh Uber Spamaton hunting geese in the springtime with his hounds and his son, Niet.
Uber Spamaton? Okay.
What a beautiful painting of the Mask of Tutankhamun. You wish you had the money to buy it. This is a replica of the pottery made by the Wheeze-Neck Indians of southern Ontario. All their pottery was purple because they believed that moose are terrified by purple things. They used to set the purple pots all around their campsites to ward off potential attacks by angry moose. It didn't work.
Oh.
This case holds beautiful. It looks just like the Dagger of Amon Ra. Isn't it beautiful?
Can we have one?
You can't touch the daggers on display in. Don't touch it. Don't.
Oh boy.
Don't. It's the cash register. They appear to be broken pots of some kind. Probably authentic artifacts. Or maybe someone just dropped them. That looks like a Peruvian footed vessel. It has a picture of a bat painted on the inside of the bowl.
Can I get any of these things?
Don't
I
touch.
know I'm not
Don't
supposed to
Laura,
steal.
you never steal.
No, just examine.
Upon close what a
Oh, made in Pittsburgh.
The dagger shows Pittsburgh's high degree of craftsmanship.
Okay.
They still. That's not. There's an inscription on each of the pots which reads, "These vessels were made by Welsh craftsmen. We make better castles than you do, and our flag has a griffin on it." That's not. That's. There's an inscription. On each piece you can see a tiny stamp that says, "Faux Egyptian artifacts, crafted with care by Hakim Rashad Hassan Ali Bozorg and Sons."
Okay.
The rug.
What the hell is the point of being in here?
Nice weave. Don't touch. You can't.
Maybe nothing. We just need to take note that there are replicas of the dagger in here, but it's locked. Can I leave? There we go. Leaving arrow. What? Why is it so hard to get it to appear? Hello? There we go. Nope. The fuck? I just would like to exit. Exit. I don't know how to leave. Ah! Every time I click it, it switches back to the walking person. Go, Miss Bo. I want out. I want out. Let me out. Out. I don't know what to do. It seems a little broken. This way. The exit. To the, yep. Okay. Oh, sometimes she just moves without me clicking. I think we're, oh, arrow. Arrow, go. I clicked it. Go, 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 go. You got this, Laura. You got this. Oh my god, that was impossible. Let's save. It really was. It was really hard. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why. It's so weird.
Back to the rotunda, Fräulein. The rest of the museum is off limits. And you are spooking their mastodons.
But I just want my press pass back. I need my press pass back. Eventually, at least. Right, who are these important looking people?
You must be Dr. Ptah Sheptut Smith. Nice gold ankh you're wearing.
I find it
Oops.
distasteful to celebrate thievery in the name of science. The artifacts in this museum's Egyptian collection do not belong here. They belong in Egypt.
That's only your opinion.
It is the truth. And the thieves who rob Egypt of its ancient treasures will find death waiting for them. Amon-Ra will have his revenge.
I see. Well, nice weather we're having.
Good talk.
You dare to mention his name to me? He is the blasphemous temple destroyer and tomb robber who stole the dagger of Amon-Ra from Egypt. He will know the full force of the curse of the pharaohs.
The curse of the pharaohs. What's that?
The defilers of the great Egyptian tombs and temples will all die as a result of their crimes. The gods themselves will punish them. The great Amon Ra will snuff out Peepin' Carter's life as easily as I can crush a dung beetle under my shoe.
How will this happen?
Amon Ra works in mysterious ways. You will have to wait and see.
Yeah, he's like too obvious, but definitely suspect like number one right now. But no.
I had hoped that Dr. Carrington would listen to reason. I had made another appointment to speak with him about the return of the dagger of Amon Ra to its rightful home. But this seems futile since it is no longer in the museum.
Another appointment? You spoke to Dr. Carrington once already?
Only by phone. He denied Egypt's claim to the dagger. It was hoped that a personal visit would convince him of our sincerity. But the situation has changed since then. I believe he's investigating the burglary of the dagger of Amon Ra. Perhaps, if he'd stopped drinking, he might have a chance at finding it.
Damn. Everyone's so loose-lipped about people. Makes sense, because it's a whodunit. We don't even know who done it, but who done what. We're looking for the burglary, but really, there's a whole murder that happened at the beginning. Who died so far? So far, just one person, and I don't know who. It was in the intro. I think. Technically, the Countess's husband, she told us he died this year. So I don't know if it's the same person or not, but...
I do not understand the term low-fat. Perhaps it is because I learned English in Egypt.
You ask, it is better.
They're the only place. I don't know. I might not want to talk to a lot of people at this party in particular, where at real life, because a lot of them are mean and a lot of them are gossipy. But I guess that's also just humans.
Dr. Miklos is very well educated for a woman. I would like her more if she were an Egyptian. Ah, a delightful girl. I keep asking her if she'd like to be my second wife. She is so very feminine and seductive and charming and attractive and...
Okay. I get the idea.
You should try to be more like Yvette. Men would like you more that way.
Men like me just fine the way I am.
Also, who cares?
That's what you think. I find you quite annoying.
I don't care. I find you to be a total asshat. And yet, I must still converse with you. For I am a reporter.
Heimlich is that annoying guard who works here. His fanatical devotion to his occupation is admirable, but he seems lacking
Such a
in his
huge
mental
jerk.
capacities.
Curse of the Pharaohs is a real thing? Yeah, I've heard of that. We're there for the opening of King Tutankhamun's tomb who died. I didn't know that, though. Ooh. Wait, but within 50 years. I mean, most of those who were there for the opening of King Tutankhamun's tomb died within 50 years. I could believe that. Okay, we just asked him about Wolf. We haven't asked the people in the middle about Steve yet. I skipped that one.
Do you know Steve
I was like,
Dorian?
whoa,
He
wait.
works at the docks.
I don't associate with common dock workers, madam.
Wait, I was born on Earth. That means I might die within 100 years? That's wild. Hi, Awful. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I mean...
I have only met her briefly, but she seems to have a sincere concern about my problems. A charming woman.
Mr. Augustini? I have only met him once or twice at social affairs. He seems to be very competent, that one.
This could be a fine museum if the management would return its stolen Egyptian artifacts to their proper home.
I mean, if a dog can be one, then why not a baby, right?
Since you're an expert on the subject, what can you tell me about Egyptology?
The study of ancient Egyptian history is of the greatest significance. Many of our modern religious customs originated in the ancient world. The time of the great pharaohs and of the great Egyptian gods was the peak of human civilization. Our modern society is a mere shadow of its former glory when compared to the pinnacle of human development reached by the ancient Egyptians. They knew the truth, and the truth was Amon-Ra. He led Egypt to world domination.
Aren't you exaggerating just a teensy bit?
I would not expect you to understand. You are not an Egyptian, and you are a woman.
What's that supposed to mean?
I grow tired of this topic. Speak of something else if you wish to continue our conversation.
I don't. So, goodbye. I accidentally rolled over my blanket.
Dr. Carter is an odd one, if you ask me. He is so very interested in gaining personal glory. He doesn't seem to fully understand the beauty of what he has discovered. Why, the Amun-Ra artifacts are a symphony, a tribute to the wonders of death. Dr. Carrington is a quiet one. I don't see him very often. I'm certain, however, that he must have a poetic soul.
What makes you say that, Dr. Miklos?
I have seen him walking amongst the dead in the Egyptian exhibit late at night. I cannot blame him.
I like her.
It's better than moonlight on headstones.
Who died so far? Only one person, and it was at the very beginning. It was in the introduction. We don't know who it is. But they were shoved in a trunk.
You ask yourself.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Detective O'Reilly.
And
I can't
maybe
say that I'm
some
overly
mummies
fond of
in the
that
museum,
one.
but
He has little respect for the wonderful things in the museum, and he is too firmly rooted in this life. I do not believe that he likes the dead at all. Can you imagine?
I cannot.
You ask yourself.
I keep standing right in front of the people that I'm trying to talk to.
Me? How sweet of you to ask about me, my dear. Well, I consider myself a simple woman. Just an echoing museum, a few hundred dead things, and a ferret for company, and I could be happy for the rest of my life. Well, with a little male companionship from time to time, that is. I find Yvette to be a charming
What did the policeman give you in
young lady.
return?
Some people around here don't appreciate her zest for life, but I find her quite refreshing.
Yeah, it was from the sandwich from Luigi's. He gave us information. I think we were just able to talk to him after that. I love both Laura Bell's games. I'm liking this one a lot so far. I really liked the first one, but this one has a less stressful pace, which is nice.
You ask yourself if you can
I
handle
gotta
the...
move. I can't keep clicking on myself.
Good evening.
Oh. Ah, Wolf. He has some lovely scars, doesn't he? Just between us girls, I think he's dreamy.
So, Dr. Miklos, has this been a good year for you?
I would say yes, very good. I came here from Greece just a short time ago, and look at me now, curator of the largest private museum in New York.
I'm happy to hear that, Dr. Miklos. Tell me, have you noticed anything unusual at the museum lately?
Dr.
The
Meatloaf.
whole museum is unusual, my dear. We are surrounded
see
by
that.
dead
Yep.
things. Just walk around for a while and breathe in its wonderful atmosphere. Why, the whole place
She's not amused.
smells of death.
I just may do that. Have you ever noticed any dead things that, well, don't belong?
My dear, every dead thing belongs. Dead things are our friends.
Well, good talk. Next.
That fella's just too big for his britches. That's all I have to say.
Wait, who is this?
Someone ought to take him down a notch or two.
I should greet people instead of just running into questions. No, that was an exclamation. Who are you?
How are you, Detective
Yeah, that's what I thought,
O'Reilly?
but I wasn't sure.
Just fine, lassie. You're looking lovely this evening.
Thanks. It's not my dress.
I'm a busy man.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
He's
We're
got
fine.
too many brains, that one. He's the wee pest who likes to hang around the station house. In fact, I thought he was supposed to cover this so-called event. Oh well, no big loss. That man is a few cards short of a full deck, but he always presses me pants, just like me sainted mother used to do. I think I've heard of your father, over in New Orleans, isn't he, lass? They say he was pretty good, for one of those southern boys. That woman is downright unnatural, Miss Laura. I'd stay away from her if I were you. She keeps asking me if I've got any scars, don't you know?
Unnatural.
Now there's a lovely girl. A real lady, don't you know? He's not much of a security guard, if you're asking me. How could I trust a man who allowed a thief to waltz right in here and steal one of the exhibits if he didn't do it himself? He hasn't even got an alibi for the night of the burglary, since he was here alone.
That's pretty suspicious.
He seems nice enough, but I wouldn't trust anyone who works on the docks. They're pretty rough company for a wee lass like you.
Everybody's so worried about me. I'm fine. I'm Laura Bow. I save early and I save often. Sometimes.
Now there's a slippery old bat. If she's royalty, then I'm Rudolph Valentino. That man is a human weasel. Stay away from him, lassie. The Tribune is a hotbed of yellow journalism, young lady. You should find yourself a better place to work. Have you considered being a secretary?
Detective O'Reilly, the Tribune is a fine, upstanding paper. And no, I don't want to be a secretary. But it would be none of your business if I did.
Tell him, Laura.
Temper, temper, Missy. I thought you reporters were supposed to stay objective.
Objective doesn't mean without opinions or loyalties, Detective.
Well, all I have to say is I'd like to see you in the middle of a catfight, lassie. You'd win, claws down.
Thanks. Hi, spooky cutie. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I feel like I just got gaslit so hard. Alright, next.
They're pretty good. They always put just enough starch in me shirts.
Oh, right. It's okay then. No, I know, and I know it wasn't a game made in the 20s either. They're intentionally doing that. But as a woman also, I can empathize with Laura Bowe's struggles with this. So that makes me salty regardless. What did I just ask? Oh, about the laundry?
The docks are dangerous places, lassie, infested with as many cutthroats as there are rats. I'd stay away from there if I were you.
Why do I have this glass?
If you ask me, Missy, they're blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Begorra, you'd think that something important had been stolen.
You don't consider a priceless Egyptian artifact to be important?
Not every man, true. I would
Listen,
imagine.
Curly, if I chased down every petty theft that occurred within the nastier segments of the population, I'd be working 30 hours a day.
I
We've
would
met-
hardly call the Lion Decker Museum a nasty segment of the population, Mr. O'Reilly. And if you're referring to our Egyptian visitors, shame on you. And don't call me girly.
Tell him.
By me father's whiskers, you're a fiery one, Miss Laura. All right, I won't call you girly, little lassie.
I got distracted by all the ass hattery. We've met a few. Rocco. Rocco seems like an upstanding person. Maybe. I guess he's sitting because he's driving us, but I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm done. Let's not pretend things are much better in 2022. I'd like to think they are in ways, but it's still not perfect. You still get told to smile and be fancy and pretty. Stuff like that.
The happy party go.
Oh, that's it. Did I learn anything? Yeah, I think I'd agree. It's not perfect. There's a lot wrong still with a lot of things, but I think I would rather be a woman today than in the 1920s for lots of reasons. Okay, I didn't ask them about Steve Dorian.
Ah, this Steve, he is so big and handsome, no?
Steve Dorian. The stevedore with the ridiculous name. He's the fellow who helped unload my artifacts from the steamship. If it weren't for his odd name, I would have forgotten him entirely.
Yeah, the dock worker. I know that guy. He ain't in my inner circle, though. Don't know much about the Joe.
Hey. Oh, wrong person. This guy's pretty chill.
Mr. Dorian is a very healthy-looking young man. His mother must have eaten well.
Wait, did we didn't gain anything yet except for our water glass and a lot of information.
A stevedore? I'm afraid I don't discourse with proletarian ruffians of that stripe.
And then there's also a great deal of, well, racism and classism going on. There's a lot. 20s was it was about 100 years ago. 100 years ago? What year are we in? 2020? Yeah. Why do I have this glass? I want to get a fake dagger.